Now, of course, this has not just shocked Britain, this story, it shocked the world. And already last night, the tributes were pouring in from world leaders, from prominent figures all over the planet. This morning, Rishi Sunak was on BBC 5 Live. Let's have a listen to the Prime Minister talking about the King.
Obviously, like everyone else, shocked and sad, and just all our thoughts are with him and his family. And thankfully, this has been caught early, and now everyone will be wishing him that he gets the treatment that he needs and makes a full recovery. I think that's what we're all hoping and praying for. And I'm, of course, in regular contact with him, and will continue to communicate with him as normal.
Practically speaking, what does it mean for the day-to-day running of the country?
No, I think, look, I'm in regular contact with the King.
Well, that's good to know. We'll read a few tributes out in just a second, but before we do, let's have a look and a listen at the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, who sent this warm message.
Can I just say that today the thoughts of all Australians are with King Charles and his family. We wish him very much a speedy recovery. I will be sending a message to the palace this morning, and we hope that King Charles has a speedy recovery and a return to his duties as soon as possible.
Here. Let's read through some of the tributes.
I was going to say before that, it reminds us, doesn't it, on such occasions that we think of Charles as our king. We indeed thought of the Queen as our queen, but they are also head of state in 14 other countries: Antigua and Barbuda, Australia, Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Grenada, Jamaica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, St Kitts and St Nevis, St Lucia, St Vincent and the Grenadines, the Solomon Islands and Tuvalu. And so, of course, there are various other countries around the world, and, of course, as head of the Commonwealth. I just remember those words that Emmanuel Macron said about our late Queen. She might have been your queen, but to us, she was the queen.
Yeah, very good.
Our royal family is the most recognised across the whole world. So many countries today waking up to this news and will be in shock from it.
Keir Starmer, he said, on behalf of the Labour Party, I wish His Majesty all the very best for his recovery. We look forward to seeing him back to swift, full health. I was noting last night, Alex, that even Humza Yousaf and Mark Drakeford managed to be statesmanlike about this. Humza Yousaf, the Scottish First Minister, can I send my thoughts and my prayers to His Majesty the King and wish him well for a full recovery and a return back to public life. And Mark Drakeford, the Welsh First Minister, said he was saddened to hear the news of the cancer diagnosis and wished the King a full and swift recovery. Do you want to do a couple of others?
Deputy First Minister, the DUP of Northern Ireland, Emma Little-Pengelly, said, I, like many people throughout Northern Ireland, will keep him and his family in my prayers. And then, of course, you have the roll call of former Prime Ministers, political bigwigs who have taken to social media to express consolation. Boris Johnson saying the whole country will be rooting for the King today, adding best wishes to Charles III for a full and speedy recovery. And Liz Truss saying, sending every best wish to His Majesty the King and the royal family as he undergoes his treatment for cancer. He will be in our thoughts and prayers. God save the King.
Joe Biden says he hopes to speak to the King soon. He told reporters in Las Vegas on Monday that he had just heard the diagnosis and hoped to speak to him very soon. And, of course, Donald Trump wrote on his social media site, Truth,
in characteristic capital letters, of
King
course.
Charles has cancer. He is a wonderful man who I got to know well during my presidency, and we all pray that he has a fast and full recovery. I went to St Lucia a couple of years ago, and I went through 2 weeks there, and well, not a couple of years ago, a bit longer than that, and I never once sort of realised that actually St Lucia was still ruled by the King. I never knew, or the Queen then.
I was in Antigua last May, and not only do they remind you a lot that the Queen is the head of state, or the King now, but they adore the royal family, actually, and they've got really great, the dollar there has got a wonderful picture on the front, very modern looking, of our royal family. But no, I mean, actually, there was more sort of pomp and ceremony around the monarchy being their head of state than we have in this country. Lots of pictures of the royals up in shops and the like.
Well, yes, indeed. So, concern for the king all over the world, whether or not he happens to rule those countries. Everybody admires the king. I mean, I've had my criticisms of him, but he's definitely a decent and good man. And after waiting with such dignity for so long to take on the role of the sovereign of this country, the fact that after just 18 months he's been struck down with cancer is a tragedy. But if anyone can handle this, it will be King Charles. He's a stoic man.
Yeah,
a stoic man.
Such dignity and poise,
Yeah.
and a man who I always get the impression is very gentle at heart.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree
likes
with you. I
nature
agree.
and painting
I agree.
and his organic vegetables. He's a very
He is a
sort of-
gentleman. I
he's
wish
a gentle soul.
I quite often wish that he was a little less gentle, but that's now's not the time to.
But he won't be digging up his organic vegetables, of course, but he is going to be using Zoom, apparently, to carry on with duties while he's incapacitated and unable perhaps to physically be present in places. I mean, apparently, you know, the aides for the king often say that they get exhausted trying to keep up with his work ethic. This is a man who absolutely loves working, loves throwing himself into things. So you can imagine he will make sure that he has all the various acts and bills that he needs to read through and stamp off and continue keeping his duties as head of state alive, the Privy Council meetings and audiences.
Very quickly, though, his decision, he may rue his decision to slim down the royal family because there are only 3 or 4 working royals now, and, of course, 2 of them are out of action. So it's going to be, as I say, very busy times for William, Camilla, presumably Anne as well, Edward. The remaining royals from the slim down royal family are going to be working their backsides off, and we wish them all the well. We'll be returning to this story, of course, in Crosstalk this afternoon.